Okay, we have an update on the Tallahassee, Florida shooting at the yoga studio. This is the dailymail.com in the UK. And we have the gunman pictured here. The shooter was identified by police as a 40-year-old Scott Paul. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name, but there it is. It says, the gunman who opened fire at a hot yoga studio in Tallahassee, killing 2 people and wounding 5 others before turning the gun on himself, has been identified. Tallahassee Police Chief Michael DeLeo said Friday night that the gunman shot 6 people and pistol whipped 1 other before fatally shooting himself. The conditions of the other victims are unclear. You know, it just is strange that, they want to make this political statement or something is going wrong in their lives. And this, I think, I read the article prior to, and it's a domestic violence thing. So he was having problems at home, wanted to kill himself, but let me go ahead into this yoga studio of all places and let me kill some people before I kill myself. It's always the case. The shooter was identified by police as a 40-year-old Scott Paul, Beierle. The 2 victims were shot dead, have been named as Dr. Nancy Van Vessem, 61, and Mara Binkley, 21. City spokesman Jimmy Van Pelt said the shooting at the Hot Yoga Tallahassee around 5:30 p.m. appeared to be a part of a domestic dispute. Dr. Van Vessem was an internist and chief medical director for Capital Health Plan, the Tallahassee Democrat confirmed. Capital Health Plan said in a statement, our Capital Health Plan family is deeply shocked and saddened about the tragic loss of our beloved friend and colleague, Dr. Nancy Van Vessem, among the other victims of this terrible incident. As CHP's longtime chief medical director, Nancy has been a guiding visionary force in our daily work to serve the wellness and health care needs of thousands of families in this community. Her dedication, caring, leadership, humanity, and experience made her one of the most respected, inspiring, and accomplished medical professionals in the state and country. Our hearts are filled with sorrow and prayers for her family. We all have been so blessed to have Nancy in our lives. And this is the pictures of the 2 that were shot, the 2 women. Mara on the left, Binkley on the left, 21, and Dr. Nancy Van Vessem, 61, on the right. Binkley was a student at the Florida State University, and Dr. Van Vessem was a faculty member. University President John Thrasher said in a statement, there is no words to express the shock and the grief we feel after learning of the deaths of Mara Binkley and Dr. Nancy Van Vessem. To lose one of our students and one of our faculty members in this tragic and violent way is just devastating to the Florida State University family. We feel the loss profoundly, and we send our deepest sympathies to Mara and Nancy's loved ones, while we pray for the recovery of those who were injured. Witness Alex Reddy told the Tallahassee Democrat a woman ran into the bar downstairs, followed by a man with blood on his head. He said 2 or 3 other people sought help in the bar, and they told him a tall man with a beard was acting strangely in the studio and then began shooting. Okay, the man here doesn't have a beard. This might be a previous picture. I'm not sure. That seems like I got a frog in my throat. Okay, some of the pictures from the scene. A person in the scene being transported from the scene of the shooting in Tallahassee, Florida on Friday. And this is the hot yoga studio on top of the restaurant. And some of the personnel, emergency personnel on site. Okay. The man with blood on his head told Reading he tried to stop the shooter but was pistol whipped before the gunman killed himself. State Representative Kristen Jacobs was also in the bar and witnessed the aftermath of the shooting. A girl ran into the bar, she said. She could hardly talk. She was hyperventilating. I heard her say shooter. Two other women came in and kept hearing the word shooter. I kept hearing the word shooter. Jacobs said of the man who was pistol whipped, many people are alive because this guy rushed the shooter. Megan Nixon told the Tallahassee Democrat she was eating at the restaurant downstairs when the gunman opened fire. She said, we heard pop, pop, pop. It sounded intense. It didn't sound like gunshots. Melissa Hutchinson said she helped treat a profusely bleeding man who rushed into the bar after the incident. She said 3 people from the studio ran in and they were told there was an active shooter. And here's the photograph. Here's a little map of Tallahassee, kind of giving you a visual of where it's at in Florida. It was a shocking moment something happened like this, Hutchinson said. The people who came in were injured, including the bleeding man who was pistol whipped while trying to stop the shooter. They told her the shooter kept coming in and out of the studio. When he loaded his gun, people started pounding the windows of the studio to warn people. Weston, 64, said he was eating dinner with his family at the restaurant below the yoga studio when they heard the gunshots above them. We just heard pow, 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 Weston said. It sounded like a limb falling on a tin roof and rolling. The restaurant's owner came by a short time later asking if anyone was a doctor, Weston said. His stepdaughter is an emergency room nurse and held paramedics for about an hour. There were 11 people signed up for the 5:30 p.m. class, local media reports. Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gilman, who is the Democrat nominee for governor, tweeted that he's breaking off the campaign trail to return to Tallahassee. And this is the police chief, Michael DeLeo. And here is a tweet from Andrew Gilman, the governor candidate of Florida. I'm deeply appreciative of the law enforcement's quick response to the shooting at the yoga faculty in Tallahassee today. No act of gun violence is acceptable. I'm in close communication with law enforcement officials and will be returning to Tallahassee tonight. He wrote, I am deeply... Okay, we read that. Late Friday night, after earlier appeared at a campaign event with former President Barack Obama, Gilman spoke to reports near the scene of the shooting to say that he had visited in the hospital 2 people who were shot at the studio. The mayor said they were in good spirits despite the injuries. Gilman asked residents to pray for those who survived and those who were killed in the shooting. We all feel a sense of added vulnerability because of the shooting, the mayor said. City Commissioner Scott Maddox wrote on Facebook, in my public service career, I have had to be on some bad scenes. This is the worst. Please pray. Republican Governor Rick Scott, who is challenging Democratic Senator Bill Nelson, called DeLeo and the head of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to get details of the shooting. I will remain in constant communication with law enforcement. We have offered state assistance, Scott tweeted. The plaza where the shooting took place is home to popular restaurants, jewelry store, framing shop, and hair salon and other businesses. And this is more pictures of the scene. And there you go. So November the 6th is midterms. Today is November the 3rd, and things are kind of shipping up, to the point we've already had now 2 shooters and a bomb scare. In Pittsburgh, the other shooter, now Tallahassee, Florida. So we're going to see what's going to happen before the 6th. Y'all take care. God bless these people and have prayers for them. Prayers for these people's family, the two victims that were killed. Pray for them and their family, and the others that were injured. And here's the shooter right here. Y'all have a good day, and thank you.